Hey everybody, welcome to my plant-based kitchen. Can't wait for you guys to come inside. Let's get busy. Hey guys, welcome back to Kimberly's Plant-Based Kitchen. It's all about soup again in the kitchen today. We are doing some warm and cozy soups that are going to keep us satisfied through the winter. Today we're going to do a creamy, delicious cauliflower soup. It's going to be so good. Some nice fresh thyme in it, onion, a little bit of smoked paprika. We're actually going to use some of our Moroccan seasoning today with the turmeric, where the delicious spices, the coriander and white pepper, a little bit of cinnamon and allspice. It's going to be really, really amazing. So let's get started on our soup because we're also going to do a sandwich with it today. So we're going to do a roasted cauliflower and eggplant sandwich with a mango and pineapple chutney. Get ready for it, you guys. So good. So let's get started on our soup. I cut up a head and a half of cauliflower already, and I placed it in our pot, our stock pot. So get your stock pot out. And this doesn't have to be super small because all of this is going to get blended in a blender when it's all done. So just small enough that everything fits nicely into your pot and doesn't take a long time to cook. So we already have most of our cauliflower in here already. Let's add this. Cauliflower was washed and cleaned and everything. Okay, so now let's get the rest of our ingredients in there. We're going to do half of this onion. It's a really big onion, so we only need half of it. And we're just going to slice this down. And remember, all of this is going to go in the blender, so you don't have to worry about it being really, really small. So we just need it to be small enough to get in there and start cooking. And before I do this, let me soak our walnuts. Almost forgot that. Now, if you're doing this ahead of time, soak your walnuts for at least about an hour ahead of time, especially if you don't have a high-speed blender that can really break down everything. I have a Vitamix, so I really don't have to worry about it not being soaked because they're going to get all blended up in that Vitamix. But if you don't, make sure you soak them because you want to get them nice and soft. So let's get these in a little bowl and get these soaked. Okay, guys, we're going to finish cutting up this onion. So like I said before, it doesn't have to be in really small pieces. All this is going to get broken down as it cooks. And then when we blend everything in the blender. All right, so we're going to let's do our garlic first, and then we'll take everything over to the pot. So we have 3 cloves of garlic we're going to use. So let's just chop those down. And of course, you can always put this stuff in your food processor and make it a lot easier and a lot quicker. So let's just take these skins off, get this chopped up. I don't know if you guys have ever had cauliflower soup, but it is absolutely delicious. You could actually take this cauliflower soup, steam some broccoli, and you could add it to your cauliflower soup, and it would be absolutely amazing. We're going to leave some of our cauliflower whole. We're not going to put it all in the blender so that it does have some texture to it. And we're also going to make some delicious croutons to go with this. So you definitely can add your croutons to your soup. So good and really, really easy to make with this gluten-free bread. So you definitely can do that. Croutons can actually be added to your salads also. So feel free to use them how you like. Okay, chop this up. Just get that chopped up really good. Doesn't have to be super small. Just chop down. All right. Me and my little non-chef knife skills. Whatever it takes, guys. Okay, so now we'll wait to put our thyme in. Let's get this over to our pot. And we're going to add our vegetable broth, and we can actually turn it on. So we have some low sodium vegetable broth. So it has lots of flavor. You can just use water if you like, some bottled spring water. But we're going to use some vegetable broth in our recipe so it's nice and flavorful. Okay, so let's add that. And I did put my walnuts in the water to soak. So remember, you're going to soak your walnuts for about an hour ahead of time if you don't have a high-speed blender. Okay. And if you guys don't know, walnuts have so much nutrients in them. It's one of the best nuts that you can eat. So way better than almonds. Grab you a handful of walnuts and you're doing good. All right. And so this is going to be about 8 cups of vegetable broth. And this soup is enough to serve probably like 5 or 6 people. So you'll have plenty of leftovers. And if you don't want a big batch, just cut your recipe in half. If you're just making this for one person, so that you don't have too much soup. And let's toss these. All right, guys. Let's turn on our fire. That would help. And we'll get that going. We're going to bring that up to a boil. So let's see, I'm going to use this other eye. This one's a little bit bigger. Okay, guys, let's light this fire. We're going to take this all the way to high because we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer. The cauliflower doesn't take long to cook. We're going to take about 4 sprigs of our fresh thyme, and we're going to add that. Let's do these 4 sprigs right here are perfect. And we're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika and some of this Moroccan seasoning. Get that ready. Let's put this in first over here. And you're just going to take your sprig of thyme and just take those leaves right off of there. I love fresh thyme. I love fresh herbs, period. If you got fresh herbs, definitely use them. You can always grow a nice little herb garden in your kitchen window or anywhere in your kitchen where you get some light, or maybe even outside on your patio or in your backyard. And then you always have fresh herbs to use for your dishes, which is always awesome. Okay, one more sprig here. Okay, and all this is just going to get broken down in the blender anyways. And we got one more, so we might as well use it. Why not? Okay, got all that together. Let's add some of our seasoning. And we're going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of our smoked paprika. Yeah. And we're going to add a couple of teaspoons of our Moroccan spice. This is going to give it some amazing flavor with turmeric and allspice, coriander. Yum. So this is going to be a really smoky, delicious cauliflower creamy soup. And you'll be surprised at how creamy that it's going to be because it's really creamy. That's like the best part. We're going to take our soaked almonds and let's just drain those. And we're going to add these in. Okay, and that's going to actually help it to get creamy, the walnuts. And we're going to add nutritional yeast, but we're going to do that once it's actually finished. So let's put our top on, and we're going to get this to a nice rapid boil, and then we're going to cut it down to a simmer. All right. It's looking good, guys. All right, let's put our top on. And now we're going to set up for our croutons, which only take a few minutes to cook, you guys. These are super easy. You definitely want to watch these in the oven because they go super fast. We're going to have our oven set preheated at 400 degrees because we want them to get nice and toasty. Let's grab some of our gluten-free bread. So grab you a loaf of gluten-free bread. And we're going to cut this up into some nice little squares. We actually use these same croutons when we did our dressing. So you can actually look to that recipe. And we're going to use don't waste these ends of the bread. This is like perfect for crouton. So definitely use the ends of the bread for your crouton. I know how sometimes we get to the end and we don't want to use it. If you're anything like me. Okay, so let's keep those ends. And let's chop that up. Got our bowl here. So we're just going to cut these into little squares, like croutons are. So take them across, and now we're going to cut them into little squares, and they're going to be the perfect little crouton. Okay, so we can add all of these over here to our bowl. I love these on my salad. I know when we're going gluten-free and we can't do the gluten anymore, sometimes we miss out on things like croutons. But now you'll be able to have your own little croutons at home. And you're going to know exactly what's going to go into them because you're making them yourself. Okay. Get all of that into the bowl. And this is so super easy and simple. So you can make a batch of these and you can have them in a tight, airtight container for probably like about 10 days. So you can take them out, use them in your soups, use them in your salads. And you don't have to worry about making them the day of. Okay, perfect. And those ends of the bread worked really good. They'll be nice and crunchy. Okay, so now super simple. We're going to take our Italian seasoning. Where is our Italian seasoning? Over here. We're going to use some of our Italian seasoning, some Himalayan pink sea salt. Let's get some oil. We're going to use a little bit of this avocado oil. And this is about maybe 2 tablespoons. We're going to sprinkle about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. And then we're going to take maybe, let's do a tablespoon of our Italian seasoning. And we're going to sprinkle it with that. So these croutons are going to have some amazing flavor. Sprinkle it with that. And then you can just get in here with your hands and toss these up. Oh, forgot one ingredient, guys. We're going to add a clove of garlic. Let's get our clove of garlic in there. Can't miss that. We need that garlic. Okay, so 1 clove of garlic. Almost forgot. Don't worry, all of this will be on your recipe. I won't forget any of your ingredients on your recipe. And you're going to mince this up small. Okay. This is going to give the croutons a lot of flavor. So if you're missing the meat in your salad, toss in some croutons. And that will definitely help. Croutons and avocados. Those are always a good replacement for me. Especially in salads. Okay, so now we're going to toss this up nicely. This looks amazing. They look nice and seasoned like the ones you find in the store. In those packages without all the preservatives and other junk. And they're gluten-free. So you are winning. Let's get our cookie sheet. Because we're going to toss these in the oven, and they're not going to take long at all. Maybe about 10 to 12 minutes at the longest. Get you a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to toss those out. Get all that seasoning and goodness out of there. And you're going to spread these out evenly on your cookie sheet. These are going to be so delicious, you guys. You guys are going to really enjoy these. Super easy. Okay, let's pop these suckers in the oven. 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, and we're going to put our timer on. And I bought actually my daughter's timer today. She made sure that I had to tell you guys that it was her timer. She's been trying to get me to bring this timer. So we're going to put it on for 9 minutes because that's all the timer goes up to is 9 minutes. Let's put our timer on. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. Got my daughter's timer, so we got about 4 more minutes on our croutons and they'll be done. We're gonna make our cauliflower and our eggplant for our sandwiches. These make the perfect sandwiches, you guys. If you're looking for something to put in a nice sandwich, the eggplant is so good. We're gonna roast this in an air fryer oven. And we're gonna season it up deliciously. Make sure you get that seasoning on there. So we're taking the skin off. Don't leave your skin on, it's a little tough. Let's take that off. And we're gonna cut these into rounds so they fit on our bread nicely. They don't have to be super thick. We're gonna try to get as much of a crust on there as possible, or crispy as possible in the air fryer. Okay, we don't want it to be all mushy. Let's take that off. And let's just slice these down. And about maybe like ½ an inch thick. Cut this little ugly part off right here. We don't want that. Cut that off of both of these. Okay, so now let's cut us some rounds. Not super thin, but not super thick either. And you could put maybe 2 of these on to your sandwich. And then we're going to also do the cauliflower. So it's going to be a yummy combination. And let's see how we're going to cut this. We'll just cut it down this way. And the cauliflower sometimes breaks apart, but it's fine. We'll just pile this up on our sandwich. Try to keep it together as much as possible. If it comes out like that, it's perfect. Okay, perfect. Just need a few of those trying to break apart on me. Take that little piece off. Turn this around. And let's get this one. And I think we have plenty. Let me just peek at our croutons, make sure we're doing okay. Okay, time to come out. And there's our little timer. Thank you, Medina. So let's get our croutons before they burn. Oh, they're looking perfect, guys. Looking good. Nice and crispy and toasty. So those are perfect. Those are going to be so good in our soup. Let's turn this off. Cool our kitchen down a little bit. And let's pop some seasoning onto these guys. And we're only going to do like 2 sandwiches, maybe 3. So let's do 1, 2, 2, and 2. Let's just do all of these. And we're going to spray this down with a little bit of avocado oil. We're using this piece. Let's see if we can get one more slice out of this one. Yep, good. Okay, so that gives us enough. And we'll just roast that up too, why not? Okay, so let's just spray this down with a little bit of avocado oil so we can season this up really good. There we go. All right. And we're going to do that on both sides. Okay, we're going to use our Cuban Mojo seasoning. This is going to give it a lot of flavor. Remember, when you're doing plant-based, guys, go in with the seasonings. It's not going to hurt. Most of our seasonings, too, are salt-free. So you have control over how much salt you're putting on your food. I've probably said that before, but I just want to continue to say that so that you guys know. We're going to add a little cayenne because the Cuban Mojo, it's not real spicy. So we're just going to spice it up just a little bit with a little cayenne. Nothing too crazy. Okay. And now we're going to do the opposite side. Same thing. Add a little bit of our avocado oil. This is going to be so good, especially with the pineapple mango chutney. And I have some really good pickled jalapenos. Oh my God. Now this sandwich is going to be out of this world. You are not going to be missing any type of meat at all. Pop these in the air fryer. And these are going to be delicious. Okay, a little more Cuban mojo. Okay. Yummy. A little bit on our cauliflower here. Get it nice and seasoned up. How your mama used to season that chicken. That's how we gonna season this cauliflower and eggplant. Little salt for both sides. Okay. Little pink Himalayan sea salt. Yummy. Okay. And just a little bit of cayenne, not too much. Don't go too crazy with it. Just a little spice. And if you do go crazy with it, that means you like the heat. If you don't, just a little bit. Okay, we can put that back over there. And now we're going to take this over to our air fryer. We're going to pop this in on our air fryer. And this should be in there probably for about maybe about 15 minutes. And it should be done. So we'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. We're going to check on our soup because I think our cauliflower is ready. Yes, it definitely is ready. You want it to be nice and soft to the touch. If you stir it up and it starts breaking apart, that means that it is definitely ready. Let's turn this off. And we are going to start loading this into our blender. So be extra careful with this. You're going to get a little juice in the cauliflower. You might have to do this in 2 parts because this is a lot of cauliflower. If you're cutting your recipe in half, you should be perfectly fine. So yeah, we'll definitely do this in 2 parts. Oh, our eggplant and our roasted cauliflower are ready. Our air fried cauliflower. It's in the air fryer, so that was just our little buzzer going off. So that's ready for our sandwiches. Okay, let's put the top on this and blend this up. And make sure that you cover the top of your blender with the kitchen towel, just to make sure nothing splatters because this is going to be really hot. Oh, you know what, guys? What I almost forgot to do. Almost forgot to add in our nutritional yeast. I like to add it in before I blend, so I just ensure that everything gets blended up really good. So it's going to be 3 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast. We'll add 2 in here, and we'll add 1 in here, and then we'll add salt and stuff afterwards. We'll taste it. Okay, so that should be good. Let's get our kitchen towel and put it on top. All right, let's turn this on. Okay, that should do it. This Vitamix doesn't play around. So yes, that is nice and creamy and blended up. We are going to put this in a bowl and then we're going to transfer it back to the pot. So let me just grab another big mixing bowl and we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're going to take out some of this whole cauliflower because we want to have some texture in our soup. So we're just going to add some of these whole pieces. I'm just making sure I don't get any of the walnuts that haven't gotten ground up yet. Just trying to get cauliflower. So we're going to add that over here. Okay, just a little bit more. Have some texture in our soup. All right. Sorry, 1 little piece of walnut. You get back in there. Okay, so let's grind up the rest of this in our blender. And then, like I said, we're going to transfer all of this back to the pot. You're not going to use all of this liquid because you don't want your soup to get too runny. So we're going to use some of it, but we're not going to use all of it because we want our soup to be nice and thick and creamy. So just getting out the rest of this, all the walnuts, and all our little pieces of cauliflower we have left in here. Okay, and then I'll probably just drain the rest of this out, and we'll put the rest of the cauliflower back into our soup. Okay, let's get this blended up. Put our kitchen towel back on top just in case. Like I said, with this blender, you don't have to worry about anything because it's going to break everything down. So now I am going to take out, I'm just going to drain the rest of our liquid out of our cauliflower soup so we can get the rest of those little bits out of there. So if you guys want to do that, you can put it through a strainer. It'll be much easier. And then the rest of that cauliflower you can just take and put it in your soup. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, let's add the rest of our cauliflower soup back to our pot. This is looking yummy and ready. I'm just going to scrape all that out of there with our rubber spatula. Get all the goodness. Don't waste any. Okay, that looks great. And now let's add a little bit of salt to this. And see if we need a little brown pepper or cayenne. Let's see, our salt's over here. We got our sea salt. Okay, let's check that. That is looking so yummy and delicious. Great for a cold night or a rainy day. Yummy. Let's add a little ground pepper. Ground pepper. Alrighty. And our Moroccan seasoning already had some white pepper in it, so this should be really good. Let's just taste this and see where we're at. We need a little more salt. It looks amazing. And with these croutons, it's going to be absolutely delicious. Tastes super good. Just a little more salt though. Yummy. Creamy. Just a little more salt. All right. And then we got our bread over here ready for our sandwiches. So we're going to set it up for our sandwiches. And we'll be right back, guys, so you guys can see how we're going to put these sandwiches together. Okay, guys, we're back. We're going to put our sandwiches together. Let's get our eggplant and our cauliflower out of the air fryer. It's looking nice and crispy and delicious. Nicely seasoned. We're going to pile on our eggplant first. Okay, we're making 3 sandwiches. This one gets an extra one. Now let's put some cauliflower on there. These are going to be stacked with deliciousness. So excited to taste this with the pineapple and mango chutney. It's going to be so flavorful. Plus our pickled jalapenos. Yeah, it's going to pack a punch, you guys. Get ready for it. So yummy. So we're going to use all this cauliflower. Just taste a little bit. Perfect. Yummy. All right, let's put the rest of our toppings on here. We are going to add our tomatoes. So we just got our little cherry tomatoes, different colors. We're going to put those face down so it stays on there, doesn't fall off. This looks amazing. Come on, you guys, tell me you can't do plant-based. This is awesome. You're not missing out on anything. Yummy. Okay, one more tomato on here. That's looking good. Let's pile some of this avocado on top. Some nice little slices. Be careful with your paring knife or whatever knife you're using, because I have cut my finger before down here. Just make sure you don't go all the way through your avocado when you're slicing like that. I know when I first got my knives, they were super sharp, so. All right, let's get this out of there. And let's get us some avocado onto these sandwiches. Looks amazing. Little avocado. Little avocado. This extra piece over here. All right, just enough. This one wants to keep falling. That's okay, because once we put this top on and bite down, it'll be all good. Okay. Just move that out of the way. All right, getting kind of slippery, guys. Let's put on some of our radishes. Our actual radish sprouts, actually. So we're just going to put a little bit. You know what? Actually, let's use the arugula, because this might pack a little heat to it. This is spicy sprouts. And I think our cauliflower and eggplant has enough spice. Plus, we're going to put on the spicy chutney. So let's do some arugula sprouts. Let me get that out of the pantry really quick. Guess we'll just cut. Okay. I'm ready.
3, 2.
Okay, guys, I got our arugula sprouts. A little bit on each one. I love sprouts. Good way to get your greens in. We're also going to put some red leaf lettuce on this, but whenever I can get my greens in, I try to. Okay, so we got all of that on there. Let's put a couple of little onion rounds. It's looking amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to bite into this sandwich. Okay. And now let's put a little bit of lettuce, and then we'll put on, actually let's put on our chutney and our jalapeno. So I'm going to put it on, let's put our chutney on this side of the bread. Look at that, amazing. Looks so good. Little chutney. I found this at a store, and I was like, how did I not know about this stuff? It's so freaking good. So we will definitely have the link for this in the recipe, so you can order or go to your nearest store. And I actually found this in Food for Less of all stores. And let's put in some of our jalapenos. Grab another spoon. Get some. I got a lot of heat on this sandwich, but it's really good. So if you don't want to do the jalapeno, and these aren't really that hot. They're a little more sweet than they are hot. But if you don't want to do the extra heat, you can omit these from your recipe. But I love them. They go great on sandwiches, wraps, pizza. They're so good. I love pickled anything. Okay, so we got all that. Now let's get some red leaf lettuce on here. And this is like a sandwich that you would dream about, right? Who needs to go to a restaurant? Who needs to go to Subway when you can have this at home in your own kitchen? Put this on there. Yummy. Come on, you guys. This looks absolutely amazing. Okay, let's get our soup in our bowls, and we'll be right back so you guys can see the full setup. All right, guys, we're gonna put our soup in our bowls, plate this up. Our sandwiches are ready. This soup is looking amazing in our cute little soup bowls. Yummy. Okay, let's fill up our other bowl really quick. We'll wipe those down. Make sure you get you some cute soup bowls. Serve your soup up in a nice bowl. Impress your guests. This is a perfect weeknight soup that you can fix up really quickly. It doesn't take a long time at all. Maybe 30 minutes. Do your sandwiches. This is a good lunch, a good soup, good dinner, I mean. You could even have it for brunch. Let's get some of our chives over here to go on top. Let's get our handy dandy scissors. And we're just gonna cut up some of our chives. And we're gonna put that right on top. Yummy. Our soup is ready. We got our croutons all done. They're ready for our soup. You guys, this is gonna be a filling and delicious meal. Get our handy dandy gold pretty spoon. You don't want to miss this. Make sure you go get everything on the list you need for this soup. Get in your kitchen before the cold season is over, because this is the perfect soup to have sitting by your fire. Until next time, you guys, peace and blessings.